I was at Lord's Cricket Ground today, the home of cricket, the finest stadium for any sport in the world with the longest and finest history. And I was there to witness a masterclass. England's Jonny Bairstow displayed his poise, his strength, his discipline and dexterity in a world-class performance that thrilled supporters from both sides and won plaudits across the globe. And for those viewing in the United States, worried at this stage this show may all be about cricket, you might be relieved to know it had nothing to do with the actual game.
Someone invaded the pitch. Terry Alderman did his shoulder in. Bairstow just waving to the dressing room. Maybe it's his gear.
Tremendous stuff. Jonny then turfed him over the railing at the end like a piece of rubbish, which is exactly what he should have done. Well, 3 Just Stop Oil protesters rushed the pitch, dead set on ruining the Test match that as they've ruined so many other national events in the last year or so. They were arrested. Groundsmen scrubbed their orange powder, which fortunately wasn't put on the pitch itself, or it could have wrecked the play for the entire day. So play was able to resume after just 20 minutes. Anyone who knows cricket will tell you that a spot of light drizzle in the neighbouring village could suspend a Test match longer than that. So the joke in the end was on them. But what's most impressive about this spectacle is that in one fell swoop, Jonny Bairstow triumphed where countless police officers and irritated bystanders have failed. Let's take a look at an action replay. On come the protesters with their orange powder and their T-shirts, determined to wreck things. But no, there's no stop the oil. There's just this: lift and shift. The Indian wicketkeeper ferrying off the protester pathetically like he's an ironing board and dumping him like a garbage sack, to use the American vernacular, when he gets to the end. I was there cheering on Jonny Bairstow and indeed the England captain Ben Stokes, who also apprehended one of the protesters, and some of the Australian players did too. There was a general feeling in the ground, I have to say, from every player and every spectator: we're just done with these clowns. We're done with them. They are spoiled little brats, attention-seeking. Nobody cares anymore about the message because no one's listening. We've all just grown not just weary, but angry at the Just Stop Oil protesters constantly causing chaos for chaos' sake, wrecking things that the rest of us enjoy, or just going about our normal lives. They've blocked roads. They've thrown soup over priceless artworks. They've trashed the Chelsea Flower Show. They've bolted themselves to the goalpost at a Premier League football match. They've wrecked the World Snooker Championship. We've all seen this stuff and just put up with it because it's the British way, isn't it? Just let these people do this because they're protesters. But the solution was staring us in the face all along. It was Jonny Bairstow. And the serious point here is that these protests have now become completely self-defeating. Many people back the principle of their cause, but not one single person at Lord's today, or at any of the things that they've been doing this stuff at, have turned around afterwards and gone, you know what? They've really got a point, these people, and I must join their protest. After seeing them throw paint on the pitch in a Test match, I'm not racing to be behind Just Stop Oil. I'm racing to loathe and detest them for wrecking a day that I love. Even one of this movement's founding fathers has now come round to my way of thinking about this. Trevor Nielsen has spent a fortune funding climate action groups like Just Stop Oil. Now, in an interview at the weekend, he said this: it's disruption for the sake of disruption. Working people that are trying to get to their job, get their kid dropped off at school, survive a brutal cost of living crisis in the UK. Having a pink-haired, tattooed and pierced protester standing in front of their car so that their kid is late for their test that day, that doesn't encourage them to join the movement. It's just performative. It's not accomplishing anything. I absolutely believe it's now become counterproductive. That's the guy who's been helping to fund Just Stop Oil, saying exactly what I and many others have been saying. Just Stop Oil should change their name to stop being utter prats. Well, joining me now is environmental campaigner Donncha McCarthy, Just Stop Oil spokesperson Chloe Naldred, and the former England Test cricket legend Sir Geoffrey Boycott. So welcome to all of you. Well, let me start with Chloe Naldred. Chloe, even the people who were funding you, even the millionaires behind a lot of this stuff, they're sick of it. They're sick of the performative stuff, the attention-seeking, the wrecking of stuff that other people enjoy. They recognise none of it is turning anyone's opinion. They're as sick of it as I am. Why do you all keep doing this?
Well, thanks for having me on today, Piers. What you've just done, beautiful summary of the actions that we've been doing over the last year, of course, has looked a lot at how we protest, but you haven't mentioned a word about why. Why is it that a bunch of really ordinary, community-minded, law-abiding people are taking this kind of action? And the answer is because we're in a climate emergency and our government is not taking it seriously. This action at Lords today isn't the biggest climate story of the day. The biggest climate story of the day is the fact that the government's own Climate Change Committee, which is headed by the Conservative peer Lord Debon, has found that the government's net zero strategy is failing on every single one of its targets. That means they're not keeping us safe now, and they are not
so you know
keeping
what,
us
Chloe?
safe in the future.
You know what? Come on shows like this and debate that. I'll invite you on to have a proper debate about that.
Invite us on,
My
Piers.
message
We'll
to you.
come on any time,
my
but
message to
reality
you
is the
listen-
only way we get on
listen
is
to
by
your,
doing these
No,
actions.
it's not the only way you get on. That's a complete myth. There have been regular debates on shows like mine that don't involve a reaction to the kind of ridiculous nonsense we saw today. The truth is, you've become a group of wreckers. You just like wrecking things for the sake of wrecking. Nobody is coming along to your cause because of these stupid stunts.
Piers.
We all think you're a bunch of puerile, spoilt brats who are just going out of their way to cause other people inconvenience and ruin their fun. That is the reality.
Well,
you
Piers,
might well have
it's a
serious... Hang on, let me finish. You might well...
misinformed
Hang on.
opinion.
You might well have a serious point to make, or many serious points to make. I might well agree with some of those points. I probably do. But you know what? The more of these things you do are things that I enjoy and my friends enjoy and my family enjoys and other people with their friends and families enjoy, the more families that you stop in getting to work or getting their kids to school for important exams or getting to funerals or whatever it may be, the more you do that, the more we hate you and the more we don't want to have anything to do with you or give you a platform to talk about the stuff that actually is more important, as you rightly say. Why don't you just stop the stupid stunts? Stop wrecking people's lives.
This won't stay in the news and it won't stay in the conversation. And perhaps what we're doing by interrupting the things that you need to do that are important to you, that you love, is we're making you think about everything that we're standing to lose.
No, you're not. You're making me think you're a bunch of morons.
Lord Debon said today...
You're not, Chloe.
Lord Debon said
Chloe,
today...
you're not making me think about your cause. Nobody at Lords today was thinking, God, you know what? This is about climate change. We saw the orange powder, the whole crowd started booing. Unfortunately, England's wicketkeeper, Johnny Bairstow...
Are you going to let me talk?
Actually, no, I'm going to cut you off.
Are you going to...